So Peter Sagan, aka the Hulk, just won his 3rd straight World Championships, I need to point out. So clearly the Hulk is better than the Spider-Man.
Peter Sagan does not weigh as much as the Hulk.
Dude,
it comes down to weight
in
on
the world
bike.
of cycling. When you put him against
if you
Chris
put the Hulk on a bike, he would crush the bike.
Peter Sagan is the Hulk.
If you built a bike that could support the Hulk, the bike would be way too heavy, and thus it would negate the strength in the Hulk's leg. I'm Bobby Thompson, the casual cyclist, and sitting next to me, as always, is LeLan Danes. Boom!
Whoa, so serious.
I know. You know, I've been watching too much TV. What's going on?
Well,
let's find people what's been going on, what is going on, and what's coming up.
What is going on? Well, Rush the Rails is coming up, right? We've mentioned this. Registration is closed, so if you didn't get in, too bad, because you're missing out on a great event, but you still can come down to the finish line festivities in Council Grove. And here's why you should do that. There will be barbecue contests going on, fireworks when the sun goes down, lots of other food vendors, family activities, bounce houses, beer garden. Do you need any more than that?
No, but
nice family outing in Council Grove.
Stress that. I mean, Rush the Rails, the whole experience is a social experience.
Right, it's a social celebration of the Flint Hills Nature Trail. For those that don't know, we have talked about it, but the Flint Hills Nature Trail is a converted rail bed. It was abandoned back in the 80s and just sat there unused. And today it is a wonderful multi-use trail for hikers, bikers, equestrians to be able to use. It currently goes from Osawatomie to Council Grove. That's 96-ish miles. And it is a blast, and there's lots of amazing little communities along the way to stop in and explore. So these rail trails, if you might recall, producer Matt did a journey on the Katy Trail. They're a great way to explore by bike.
Awesome.
What about you, Bobby?
If you come out, make sure and find us and give us a hug.
Yeah. Bobby likes hugs.
Now, you also have, real quick, I mean, because we're getting close to November.
Yes.
And you want to throw out, just real quick, talk about Emporia has a...
Yes, well, for those that are not in the know, Emporia is founding city of Veterans Day. So pat on the back there. You're welcome, everybody. I didn't do it. City of Emporia. But at any rate, we have a great Freedom Fest kickoff party called DK Spur Ride, where you can, this is a multi-sport event, but it's not a triathlon. You can do a 5K run, 40-mile gravel ride, and a military-inspired physical fitness test. And you do all 3 of those combined, and if you make it under the cutoff, you earn your honorary civilian spurs, just like a cavalry soldier would. So pretty cool deal, pretty cool award. You're given that in a nice ceremony from the 635th Regiment, the National Guard here locally, and it's just a lot of fun. And all the proceeds for that go to benefit the military families and the servicemen and women. So great cause, great event. Great
Have you done it yet?
I have not done this one. You know, the life of a promoter. I don't get to play.
Okay.
But in addition to that event, if all of that sounds like too much, there is just a family fun ride. You can do the 16 or 40-mile gravel ride alone, or you can just come out and run if that's your thing.
I did the 16 last year with Reagan, and it was fun watching her eyes light up as we crossed the finish line coming back into town. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Finish line experiences are fantastic. So that's what's new in my world. Bobby, what have you been up to? As usual, mine doesn't involve riding an actual bike, so.
That's kind of, it is true for the most part.
It is
let's see. It's salsa time at Gravel City, where I'm part-timely employed. So I've been building a ton of bikes down there. So that's been a lot of fun, actually. It's like Christmas in September. You know, you walk in one day and you see like
Oh yeah.
30 some boxes just everywhere, and you're like, where do I start? You just kind of want to dive in, but you know, it's a hard cardboard box, so that actually hurts if you dive in. But the thought was
Not
there.
a pile of leaves.
No, it's not a pile of leaves, but so that's been going on. You know, the kids are getting involved in fall activities, so that's been going on. Shoot, what else? Let's see. We've had a short ride. I did lap the lakes last weekend, so that was a lot of fun.
In a rare moment of humility, Bobby is not wanting to mention that in his first time ever racing single speed, he climbed upon the podium in 3rd place. So
I did. I had to shove somebody off of it first, but I did have a place on the podium.
no, he earned his spot.
Yeah, no, single speed. It was a fun day. So it was a hard day. We had a 95-degree day in Kansas in late September. So it whipped us to death. So you know,
that's tough.
Yeah, it was a good day.
You're trying to switch over to cold weather mentality, and then that hammers you.
Right, and then just boom right in there. We also still have every Thursday night we have the casual rides going on that we still do. That we try to maintain a 12 to 14 mile an hour pace so that you
is
can
that just so you can recover, or what?
No, it's so that you can, it got to the point in Emporia where gravel riding has become so popular that there are so many people riding that I don't know, and we don't know, and you don't know. And so trying to throw a ride together where you can still ride next to each other and actually carry on a conversation and get to know the person next to you and not exclude some riders who are just kind of up and coming. And I also think it's okay to slow down once in a while and just have fun out there.
Agreed.
So that's what that ride's for. We do 20 to 25 miles per hour every Thursday at 7 o'clock. And sometimes we involve a Casey's run for some ice cream or something. Although nowadays it's getting closer. We may be doing hot chocolate runs.
Oh, now you're talking.
So anyway, that's what's been going on.
You were not the only one out there at Lap the Lakes, correct?
I was not the only one out there at Lap the Lakes.
From Gravel Guru Studios?
No, in fact, the person that should be sitting right here on this stool because of his amazing feat is producer Matt, who towed his first race line of a century or more, 125 miles. The exact 125 miles that I rode, he rode on his Fargo. And Matt, did you finish?
I did finish. It was quite the day. And you say my first time, 100 or more. That was my first time ever towing the line on a racing event. It was an experience to behold. I think the biggest thing for me was I didn't pre-register or anything. I kind of just decided that week. I made the mistake of coming into the bike shop and telling you all I was going to race it. So you guys kind of held me accountable to racing that.
That's right.
So we did that, went out. Kansas, at least for me, felt like it dealt me several hard cards out there. The wind came out of the south at 24, 25 mile an hour, and that heat got up there. So it was an experience.
Well, was it a good experience?
Oh, it was a great experience. Around mile 80 there, I'd lie if I said I didn't have my phone out, ready to call for a ride.
You're right.
It's one of those that it would have been so easy to call for a ride. I think the only reason I didn't call for a ride was it would have taken too long in the heat to tell someone where the heck I was out there so they could find me. But it was good. Got to the checkpoint. Loved everybody at the checkpoints. They were great, helping you get your bottles filled quickly and back on the road. Because if I would have stopped or sat down for very long, it would have been all over. I am doing a long ride up for the Gravel Guru website. Hopefully it's up by the time you're watching this show.
Perfect.
So,
well, producer Matt, you were talking about how you wanted to make that call, but prior you and I were talking about what it meant to you to finish. I mean, what were you thinking when you finally decided? I know you joked about not wanting to explain to someone where you're at, but was there more to it that wanted to make sure you saw it through to the finish line?
I think for me, wanting to finish it through is just having the opportunity a lot of times of, I'd love to go out and race Land Run or the DK200 in the future, but right now I feel like I've got a lot more value, in providing content from the gravel community and help growing it that way. So for me, it was going out there and it's putting it down because you don't know when you're going to do your next race with it, because believe it or not, I had a lot of fun out there on the Fargo, but I have a lot of fun standing out there on top of the hill, getting photos of all the racers come through, talking to people. And I had several people joke with me throughout the day, like, wait a second, if you're on a bike, who's out here getting photos of us? And I will say Chris Nichols got some great photos of the event out there, and there'll be a link in my right up to his photos so you can go check them out. It means a lot to the photographers out there when the racers go out there and buy a photo. It helps really support them and helps grow the community. Yeah. So I think that's probably the main reason I kept pushing on. And it's one of those, it's hard to go out to these races and stand on top of the hill and take these photos and think, could I be out there doing it myself? Yeah. So to me, it was just to prove that I could go out and do some of these races, and every race is different. So just showing myself that I can finish through with it.
Yeah. Well, I think someone's got to get on the bike if I'm not going to be out there riding. So at least a couple people in this studio.
So we just need to teach you how to work a camera? Is that what we need to do?
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. Yeah, so you guys got out and rode, but so did our followers, right? And this is a good time in the show where we like to see where you all have been riding. So producer Matt will share with us where you've been.
Thanks, guys. This is also my favorite part of the show, checking out where all of our followers have been riding. As always, make sure you tune into our social media, share your photos using the hashtag #ThisIsGravel, and let us see. Amy was out at the Grassland Grinder, 45 miles in Council Grove, Kansas. Brad was out doing a pre-ride of the Lowell 50 short course. Corey was out racing Lap the Lakes with us here in Emporia, Kansas. In that photo, he's out there with Bobby. He says it was a fun time. Danny was out riding near Tuscany. Donald Griggs was out at the 2017 Gravel on the back roads of Dakota County, Minnesota. 86 miles, 4,400 plus feet of climbing in the 90-degree heat. Isaac Hinestroza took his new 920 out around Americus, Kansas. It's a nice looking bike. Jason was at the Delta Epic with 20 of his besties. Joe Watson was at the Maple City Century 100-mile gravel ride, 8,500 feet of climbing in Pennsylvania. Joku was out riding on their honeymoon in Italy. Paul was out at the Alcove Spring Historical Trails State Park just south of Marysville, Kansas riding. Scott was also out at Lap the Lakes this weekend on his brand new Cutthroat. Sharp looking bike, Scott. Thomas was out on the B roads just west of Liberty. Some fast looking road right there. Make sure you tune into all of our social media to stay up with what's happening on Gravel Guru. Thanks for sharing.
Lovely. Love seeing where people are riding, don't you?
Absolutely.
Wake up over there. What are you doing? Trolling the internet?
I am trolling the internet.
You got to get focused because they've got questions, I've got questions, and we want to know your answers, Bobby.
Okay. All right. I'm ready. Let's go.
So question number one is, oh goodness, this is not about gravel, but is road tubeless worth it? So a question of setting up tubeless. Bobby, do you have any experience on the road with tubeless tires? And is it worth it?
Personally, I do not because I don't ride road a lot, but I have been following some questions actually recently that I've seen on the internet about this. And let me say this, I don't have to be the expert all the time. So I would love for you to chime in and correct me if you feel that I'm wrong. But my thought right now is that if everything is compatible, then tubeless is worth it regardless of the type of road that you're riding on. However, I will say that road requires quite a bit more pressure in the tires, and I don't know if they fully perfected the compatibility between the rim and a lot of the tires yet, and that's a lot of pressure to blow off a rim while you're riding on pavement. So is it worth it or not? Maybe not quite yet, but it could be. Gravel, always, yes, always. How do you feel? Am I on the right track?
Well, sure, it's good advice. I'll take it a step further and say the technology is pretty much there in nearly every application. Gravel, cyclocross, road, mountain biking. There's really little reason not to go tubeless. You've got companies, all the major tire manufacturers pretty much have a road tubeless. Maxxis, for example, has their Padroni, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but they've got a tubeless specific road tire. Orange Seal Cycling sponsors Team Israel road team, a Continental or Pro Conti road team, and they're entirely set up road. And so if they can get through an entire road season racing on them, I don't know what further proof you need than that to accept that it's the way to go.
I think the bigger thing would be since it's newer technology for
Sure.
road that. For it to work, you have to buy all new
Sure.
rims and for greater success.
Sure.
Versus having seasons behind you and you probably have it there, but you just haven't
Sure.
done it yet. So.
Sure. My vote is go for it, or tubeless is the way to go.
Right. And let's see, number 2. When do we find out about... This just worked out just for you, didn't it? When did we find out about DK registration? When did we find out about DK registration? What are we trying to find out, actually?
Well, I'm going to give...
It's usually December is when we register.
No, registration has historically been the second Saturday in January.
January, okay.
Yeah. But I'm going to give a nice political response here.
Okay.
And more information forthcoming in the month of October. So
Okay.
I'm going to leave it at that, because as we refine the process and try to always grow, adapt, and change, we're always reviewing it, and we've got some announcements coming next month.
So
sit on
would
your
a
hands
better
and
question be, is there anything slightly different in the registration process in 2018 versus the past?
wait. Slightly different, sure. There's always something slightly different.
Okay. I'm curious too. I don't
doesn't
know
know.
everything about the DK.
We keep it pretty tight. So sit tight. October announcements are coming, and we'll explain how to get registered for 2018 Dirty Kansas.
Okay, awesome. I'll let you read that one.
Okay, I guess I don't need to ask you about DK Reg, do I? This one is for producer Matt. Folks, you shared, Matt, that you had done your first race. You've done a multi-day bike packing trip on
put that
the
on
Katy
Facebook
Trail.
and-
So what is producer Matt's next challenge?
I think he's got some fans out there that want to know what's going on
I
with
want to
producer
know
Matt.
what producer Matt is up to next. He's putting me to shame a little bit.
Producer Matt, what's your next cycling challenge?
My next cycling challenge.
Let's go with cycling challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, I really don't have one set up right now. I'd like to go out and do another multi-day bike packing trip here before it gets real cold this winter.
What about a cold weather ride? Would you be interested in a cold weather ride?
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
I've ordered some new gloves and stuff for riding in the winter. The biggest thing, I've dropped 30 pounds since last October cycling this year.
There you go.
And one thing that really helped me do that was we had a mild winter last year. I think we can all agree that it was very mild.
did.
And the thing that's helped me this year to be able to accomplish these things was I rode all winter. So I'm not planning on putting the bike really on a trainer this winter and just staying out riding, but I want to get another multi-day bike packing trip, or at least a good overnighter somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe out of this area. I really like driving to like Missouri, where we did the Katy Trail. You know, it's an easy ride out there, but it's new stuff to see.
Right.
You know, it's hard for me to go to Chase County and bike pack for one night, because we can ride over there and ride back. You know, it's land we see, but going out and exploring a new area would be a lot of fun. Non-cycling really related is, one, we're really trying to grow the website here with our ride reports section. Luis from down in Costa Rica, we featured his photos before. He actually just sent me a 3 or 4 page document where he was doing a bike packing trip through Costa Rica, and so we're going to feature that here probably next week on the website.
So there's our next challenge.
There you
And
go.
grow
Bike
all that,
packing
so
through
that's what I'm
We're
going to be
sending
doing.
producer Matt to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Matt will go to Costa Rica.
I think he needs professional support, so I better go down and
Okay.
assist. And
Yeah, but if his bike breaks down, he's going to need a mechanic.
And he
So
needs
I
to be
should
reminded to
probably
ride casually.
That's
so-
right. So, awesome. Okay, what upcoming how-tos do you guys have planned? Yeah, that's a decent question. We have not, we've gotten away a little bit. I'd
we
say.
haven't seen One Take Blake for a while.
Right, we
have
haven't gotten with One Take Blake and done some how-to videos, and I think with fall. I'll go ahead and answer this one first, but
Well, we haven't talked about it explicitly, but definitely expect some winter layering is always a good conversation. Winter bike care does change a little bit, so it's good to talk about that.
Yeah.
More than anything, we feed off of your input, and we truly want to share with you what questions you have. So let us know. What are you wanting to know as we move into fall and into winter? What is it that you want to know about?
that's an excellent question. I like that.
Yeah.
That way I don't have to think.
I love turning it back on them and making them
I like that.
make them tell
Just
us.
tell me what to talk about, and I'll talk about the thing.
Precisely.
All right.
Okay, Bobby, have you or would you race cyclocross? So if you have, what'd you think about it, I guess? And if you haven't, would you be open to a cyclocross race?
Okay. I will say that before we answer this, because I do want to answer this actually. I'm curious. I do want to answer this. Coincidentally, Matt did go up to on a vacation of sorts to Jingle Cross last weekend, and he does have a little video segment on that coming up. So, but before that comes out, I would love to race cyclocross, but I would like to do it in a place where maybe it's not so serious, because I've never done it before. I have no idea. I'll be honest, I've never even watched a full video on it. I mean, obviously I know what it is, but
missing out.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe I need to get out. Don't they have some like in Lawrence or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Regionally, Lawrence and Kansas City in particular have a great cyclocross scene.
Well, maybe I'll have to go get a shot sometime. I'm probably be horrible at it, but you know, if someone hands me a beer hand up along the way, then I definitely would take that. So,
There you go.
what about you?
I have raced cyclocross. I have raced one cyclocross race, and there's a reason there was never a second. You would think by all accounts I should love cyclocross, and as a cycling fan I love to watch, I love to spectate, I love everything about cyclocross, but I've turned into a fair weather weenie and just and to be fair, the one time I raced cross I waited till the end of the cross season in January, and so after a winter of sitting on my butt I went out and raced guys that had been racing cross all season and just did not enjoy myself. So,
Okay, let me revise mine. I would do cyclocross now in September. I would not do it in January.
well, if you want to experience cyclocross, you got to do it in December, January.
Really? Nasty cold weather?
That's what cyclocross is.
Oh,
That's
that's
what it's meant to
that's
be.
not for me. Okay, yeah, I'm out.
Well, let's see.
Matt, what'd you find out at
yeah,
Jingle
Matt's
Cross?
Jingle Cross.
Hey, Gravel Guru fans, we are up at Jingle Cross in Iowa City. One thing I've seen on the page, a lot of people aren't riding gravel as much lately because they're saying it's cross season. Well, we decided to head up here about 400 miles from Emporia, Kansas to see what cross season is all about. Hey guys, so we've walked around the course and checked it out, and all I can say is this Mount Crumpet here is intense out here on the course. I don't think any of the video will do it justice, and watching some of these guys fly up it is crazy. So we're gonna stay tuned, and tonight they're doing it under the lights here in the dark in Iowa City, so we're gonna check that out and watch that.
Swinging the hammer and Farmers smart enough to move out of the way. Let these guys ride this.
Hey guys, ran into Venny from Cantu Wheels here at Cyclocross. She actually raced here yesterday and today. What's it like out there?
It's brutal. This is a brutal course, but it's also fun and challenging. So, came out with the weekend, survived, and hope to come back next year. So.
Hey, this was quite a long trip up here for you guys, wasn't it?
Yeah. Me and my teammate, we drove from Houston, Texas, so a 16-hour drive, but it was worth it because, I mean, even though the weather was hot, like, you get a different atmosphere up here.
As much as we're at a cross race, I got to tie this into gravel somehow. How does your gravel riding all summer kind of help you train for this in the fall and winter?
Well, all those base miles, training for Dirty Kansas and Gravel Worlds, that gives you a good base to work off of. As far as the high intensity interval training, you don't get that in gravel. So I'm kind of in transition right now to get that high intensity, like you're almost red line interval training in. So that's what you have to kind of cross over to.
What do you have to say about the atmosphere here at a World Cup event? What's this like for you?
It's nuts, but I think the most like shocking thing and kind of pinch myself thing is the best of the best in the world is here, like in Iowa City. And it's crazy because you can be riding a course and you can just run into the world champ. So for example, we pre-rode the course Thursday, and Wout van Aert, just like, we saw him coming behind us with his world champ jersey, and we're like, oh man, we're gonna step aside and let him do his thing. So it's kind of cool. It's just, and you can, walk up to them, take a picture with them, whatever. So
Very cool. Well, thanks for chatting with us today.
Come on, Turner! Let's go!
That wraps up our first day here at Jingle Cross on Saturday, actually the second day of the event. So far for taking in my first UCI Cyclocross race. It's been a blast hanging out here all day. We'll be back tomorrow for the World Cup race. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is Sunday afternoon, and we are back here at the Johnson County Fairgrounds, continuing our vlog at Jingle Cross with my wife, Madeline. Madeline, what'd you bring for it today? Cowbell. She's got the cowbell, and we're gonna go check out the World Cup race today. Weekend out here in Iowa City. The sheer athleticism of the World Cup athletes today was amazing. Have fun watching these highlights, these sight and sounds of UCI World Cup here at Iowa City. We'll see you on the next vlog.
So that did not look cold.
No,
I'm just saying, you just said cross was really cold.
UCI season starts early.
That's awesome.
It
looked like a lot of fun though.
Yeah, wait till later in the season you see them racing over in Europe in the dead of winter in Belgium and the Netherlands, and it's
awesome.
nasty.
Matt, did you have fun?
Had a great time. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of miles to drive in a weekend. I think we put 1,000 miles up. We left after my wife got off work at like 4 o'clock on Friday, drove up to Iowa City, spent the day up there on Saturday, went back Sunday, and left Iowa City at like 4:30 Sunday night and headed back when we were both at work Sunday morning.
So you didn't do any bike riding though?
No, I did not do any bike riding. I think they did have a gravel Grand Fondo event up there, but really was up for a just fun time with the wife. She enjoyed checking it out, and I've got some family that lives just north of Iowa City, so we went up there and spent the night Saturday night and hung out with some family and stuff up there.
Now, I did see, though, Matt did get into the action a little bit. Did you notice that?
He was on international television.
International television. We have a little clip here of Matt being in on the action
that
here.
He was there.
Yeah, so you wouldn't believe, Monday I'm sitting at my desk at work, and I'm like, why is this muscle in my arm sore? And then I'm like, oh, it's a cowbell. Have you ever been at a race and made your arm sore from a cowbell?
No, I have not.
We need to get Matt on a new workout regimen.
Whatever, fair enough. It was a lot of fun.
Good, good.
I know some of you might be wondering, why in the heck are we talking about cyclocross? This is gravel, right? This is the gravel show. But we're proponents of anything cycling, right, by and large. And I'm also about keeping it fresh and fun. And I really think cyclocross, if you're into this kind of thing, can be a really good avenue to change gears, change pace a little bit, and try something a little bit different and new. So definitely worth exploring and checking out this winter.
let's face it, we got some gravel roads, back roads that are a little bit like some of that course. So.
Oh, absolutely. Well, maybe we can have a gravel cyclocross.
There you go. Isn't that what land run is?
It seems to be more times than not. Without the hurdles and a whole lot more walking, running, jogging.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in this week.
Indeed.
You want to lead us out?
Well, sure. I mean, as always, share with us where you've been riding, right? Producer Matt will get that post out there. Share your images of where you've been riding your bike. Ask us questions. We love it. Participate, comment, collaborate, conversate. What else can you do on social media? I don't know.
That's a lot of 8s.
That's a lot of 8s. We love hearing from you. So until then,
See ya.